What's up, interwebs? My name is Cravol, and instead of doing anything gaming, instead of doing an apology for my schedule, or instead of doing anything that is updating on the channel, or, something with the TV show, we are going to do something completely unique and talk about me personally and YouTube. And we're going to talk about something that you all can use to guilt trip me in real life, my 3 guilty pleasure channels on YouTube, or my top 3, rather. So channels that I watch regularly, but I'm just like, it's not something that I like to admit that I watch regularly, I'll put it that way, and I think you guys will get a better understanding of what I mean as I explain. So we'll start at the bottom of the rung, number 3, with The Odd Ones Out, and this one isn't that embarrassing to admit. I think there's a lot of people that really like his style of content, but the thing is, I don't know, it's not exactly the type of content that I watch a lot of. With James, with The Odd Ones Out, really what I do, and to a lesser degree with Jaden Animations, is I'll forget they exist for a while, and then watch all of their videos over the course of like 3 days. So yeah, for those of you that don't know what they do these like kind of animations over like vloggy type story stuff, and I don't know, it's a lot of fun to watch, and James, The Odd Ones Out in particular, um, is very G-rated by comparison to a lot of stuff on YouTube, so that is another big plus for me. Obviously, the first video of his that I found was through his Meeting Jax Films video, and that is a hilarious story, and Jax Films is another guy that I like, but I'm not ashamed to admit that. Jax Films is awesome. But yeah, I'll leave a link in the description to that video and to a video from each of these guys, so link in the description to that one first and foremost. Next up, and now we're getting a little bit higher up there, this is the middle tier, is Dan and Phil. And for those of you that know their channels and everything, yes, all 3 channels of Dan and Phil. I don't like to think that I'm someone that really is obsessed with them, but every time they upload a video, I am immediately on it. Yes, for those of you that do watch their videos as well, December was a pretty interesting month for me because they were doing a video every single day, man. And yes, I kept up with it. Overall, a lot of it is the combined that I do like the gaming, but also that I do kind of like the people and the stuff like with James and Jaden, right? Um, and overall, their 3 channels, what it covers is Dan is just relatable, and Dan is entirely just like, oh, there's another human out there, right? Phil makes these videos that are like, I want to do that for a Saturday video if I actually had friends or the time to do it. Like, completely honest, that's what it is, I guess. And Dan and Phil Games is, I mean, it's gaming with 2 people that I already like, right? So, win-win. Overall, I'm not sure how I ran into them in the first place, now that I think about it. I honestly don't know if I have a favorite video of theirs. But I do like a lot of Phil's videos. I'll probably link to one of his in the description, but I mean, Dan's got his own channel, and they've got a gaming channel together, so yes. And they are slightly less G-rated. Phil tries to stay G-rated. Dan doesn't. Yes. And lastly, at number 1, and this is by far the most embarrassing thing for me to admit that I regularly watch on YouTube, like, there was kind of some discussion for the 3rd slot, like, some other stuff that is a bit of, like, embarrassing, but this is by far, I know there's gonna be my real friends out there watching this and going, really, Cravol, that's what you spend your time on? Really? But it is, and it is Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. Now let me explain. Let me explain. So here's the thing. It comes down to a few things, because I know any of you that know him and know me knows that pretty much every political view, like so many of them, we disagree on. Just doesn't connect anywhere. But what he does is, I really like his sense of humor and the type of comedy that he brings to the table. It's interesting, it's funny. And then he brings up these issues, and what I can then do is I can bring them up to someone else, so like to my mother, and be like, yo, did you hear about this? What are your thoughts? And much as I don't talk politics or that much, or anything current eventy too much, um, it lets me hear all of these different sides of it because I know the issue, and then when someone else starts talking about it, I can go, oh, hey, I've heard about that. Um, and if it is something that's really big or, a big deal, I can, in fact, go and look that up, and look into that and go, huh. And a lot of the times when he's not talking about something that is actually current, which is most of the show, it introduces me to concepts that I had no idea existed before. For example, the video down there, gerrymandering, and his style of content is not as G-rated. I mean, it's for adults. It's for adults. I'll put it that way. It can be G-rated. It can be really bad sometimes. uh, but yeah, I just admitted to watching John Oliver on YouTube. Uh-huh. Cool. All right. Well, if you guys have any guilty pleasure things that you watch on YouTube, and I'm not talking like shows or like types of videos necessarily. If that is really what you've got, you can say that, of course, but I'm talking more like creators that you're like, this isn't something that I feel that I feel is like cool for me to watch, right? It's just kind of and I don't like to talk about watching it. If you have any of those, let me know. So that I don't feel as lonely in this. Um, and if any of those people for some reason sounded interesting, links are in the description to a video from each of those groups. Yes. Have a great day, everyone. Toodles.